That gives us an extra science slot, right? So let's see what we're going for next. We're going to have to start thinking hard about this now. So, Agricultural Adjustment Act. That reduces the... Oh, this replaces the Great Depression with slow recovery. So we get more political power, resource gain efficiency. We lose some consumer goods factories. But we also lose some senators. That might not be a bad thing to go into, though. That gives us scientific research for rubber processing. I'll tell you what we need. Let's not worry too much about the opposition government. Let me start working down. Now, there's some stuff down here which will give us naval research, won't it? This is, I think... Now, that would be good. The air war plans as well. But let's go for this. So, oh, we're getting a load of opposition for that. But we also gain building slots and dockyards, which are really good. Man, okay. But we want all this stuff, right? Oh, okay, that makes it... It's a research requirement I want. So let's start upsetting the senators. Here we go. Your geography, war, and history is good thanks to watching so many documentaries and playing games. I quite like those subjects in school myself, compared to the other ones. But, well, geography, actually, that wasn't what I expected it to be. It was almost more geology than geography. Yeah, playing games has taught me so much about history. Not always from the game itself, but sometimes it's because it's triggered an interest in a particular period of history, and I've gone and researched it, or I've got books out the library, or watch documentaries to learn further, and it's nearly always been triggered by some video game. And this started... What did it really start with? Civilization probably was one that triggered it. Back on... God, was that this? No, that must have been the Amiga. But North and South, probably. That triggered a massive interest in the American Civil War for me that I've just loved learning about ever since, and still am interested in it. Alright, so the Chinese United Front are forming to fight off the Japanese. I think we're supposed to help those guys. The Hindenburg incident didn't blow up this time, so Germany still using Zeppelins. You just copy stuff off the blackboard. Yeah, it's not always the most interesting way of learning. One thing that interested me in the history I did was we did medicine through time, which I didn't expect to be interested in or find that great. And I did that. It must have been the second year of secondary school. And a lot of the stuff I learned there has actually stuck with me, and I found that a lot more interesting than I ever expected it to. That was pretty good. Starting with trephining in prehistoric times, where they basically scrape a hole in your skull with a bit of flint to let the evil spirits out when you had a bad head. And people survived that. That's a thing I find amazing. Let's see. What we're at? We're in 37 still, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, I should probably get radar. Let's get radar. Then we can put radar, even if it's just level 1, on our destroyers. There's so much to learn. How are we doing with the air stuff? We're on course for that. And the Navy. I wanted submarine hulls, but we're too soon. Yeah, too much bigger penalty there. But we can get the better torpedo launchers and stuff. So we're going to start building this up. Pre-modern medicine for the win. I wonder how they would have coped or seen a virus like the coronavirus in prehistoric times. I mean, obviously they'd be familiar with it because colds and flus would have been around. If you live in Britain, you're very familiar with colds. And I guess for most cases it would look like that, apart from the really bad cases where people couldn't breathe. So what would you think they would do? I have no idea. I have no idea what ancient medicine's fix for breathing difficulty would be. Fill the lungs with smoke? Well, it's not much worse than disinfect your lungs with bleach, is it? Let's be honest. Opposition suffers defeat in the Senate. Great. 10 senators will support the government. Because I'm about to pick some unpopular decisions, so we're going to need to work on that. China's doing okay. How's our production going? We've got the firefighting drills. They're just a nice bonus thing. I don't feel like I need to spend too much time on that. Let's catch up with the 36 era stuff. And let's get going. Construction. So we've got the infrastructure, the immediate infrastructure going, which I thought was going to fix the issues with resources, but clearly is not. Should we get some civilian factories on the go? I think I will. And let's put some civilian... does it really matter? I think you get a production speed to creating them if they've got better infrastructure, but... Texas, you look like you could do with some down here. Actually, let's put a few in there. We won't get all the benefits of these. Let's whack these to the top of the list, because it's going to make everything else grow a bit faster. But we will finish the infrastructure first, maybe. Yeah, before the industrial era, cures for a lot of things were more harmful than not doing anything. We can probably look somewhere and see what the state of the House of Representatives is like, I think. Forget exactly how to do it. There is a thing here, I'm sure, that shows you. Neutrality Act. What else have we got? New Deal. Stability is good. And infrastructure construction speed. We should take advantage of that. Command power. Home of the free. That's good. We've got the Great Depression. Oh, it's the resource gain efficiency. Okay. So if I get rid of that, and there is a national focus to get rid of that, that'll boost our resources up quite nicely. That's good. Amelia Earhart disappears. A loss for aviation. Take a look at my navy a minute. So the escorts should be fully trained. There's a lot need refitting. Actually, if I... Oh, we've got the 17 Flying Fortress. Excellent. So we're good on the aircraft front at last. Let's keep on with getting these lot done. Unassigned divisions. Oh, nice. Okay. Let's push them into there. I'm going to put these in... Where was this guy? Oh, he's up there? Alright, okay. And we've got one in Pacific Defense at the moment, haven't we? No, we'll probably have lots in Pacific Defense, but where's the Philippines? I've got one guy in there. Okay, I'm just going to move him to up there so it keeps him out of the way. Oh, we've got this army. Right. Okay, this is what we wanted. I shall create an army. We'll call this one... I can never spell Philippines without looking to see how it's spelled. Hang on. If I zoom in, oh, does it tell me? Yes, it does. It is 1 L and 2 P's. I need to learn these things. So I think the focus for that that we were talking about, for getting rid of the Great Depression, is down that WPA tree, isn't it? Philippines. That's him. Philippines. Philippines. We should put a commander in charge of that as well. Yes, sir. In fact, we could also fit in a field marshal down here. But we would definitely want someone in here who can defend and who's a good infantry general. William defensive? He'll do. I mean, I don't expect this to be too much trouble. Defense and logistics. He might be better. As I say, I don't expect this to be all that dangerous a place. So I'm going to put Russell Harty. Russell Hartle, I think it's spelled. He's going to do. He's going to be absolutely fine. And what we'll do is we shall assign them to various ports. And that's going to be my defense of the Philippines. You, however... Oh, now see, this is a likely looking target, isn't it? Where else have I got? What's going to... The Japanese hold a lot of places here. Is this... are these islands? What's that spelt? Is it going to show me? I have no idea what these islands are called. New Caledonia. Oh, it's French. Okay, it's not American then. What have we got? New Zealand, Phoenix Base, Hawaii. Okay, everything looks to be pretty much occupied, which is good. This one, I'm going to send another. When you get there, I'm going to send another guy across the seas. We're going to hold Wake Island. We're going to make that into a naval base as well. That's on the list of objectives. Because obviously, we need naval bases to stop our fleets going all the way back to America to repair. So, what did I want? There's Maritime Commission. Grants dockyard construction speed, which is nice. There's Fund the Navy. Research bonus for naval doctrine. That's nice. That's only 70 days as well. Are these? Oh, they're all 70 days. Now, that particular one gives us experience, and it looks like production cost of most things comes down, which is good. And now the one I wanted was these fleet submarines. Okay, that's what I wanted. Do we make a beeline for that? Or do I make a beeline for... Well, I don't have the resources to do them, so let's get the resources sorted first. All right, okay. So it's this. Is it down here? No, it's Arsenal of Democracy. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to far across here. Right. So this one, this will... That'll get rid of the Great Depression with the slow recovery thing. Okay. I'm going to go for that and upset a few senators. Yeah, the USA, they did have an anti-imperialistic slogan at the time, like you say, but they also were quite imperialistic, especially towards islands and territories out here. I don't know what the USA link with the Philippines is, actually, historically. I don't know how that came about. Just something I've never looked into. Let's kick off again. Japan declared war on China. And all the Soviet leaders are getting hung, drawn, and quartered. That's not good. Okay, we'll see how China fares against the Japanese. I can support them, I think. I don't know if these options open up straight away. But I think you can offer support. Oh, I can develop aluminium production over here now as well. We should go and take a look at that. It's not there yet. I think there's an option comes up at some point that we can offer our support. We can certainly send in some aircraft, I think, the Flying Tigers. Anyway, unassigned divisions. What have we got?
Attention.
Add them in there. Should be 12 of these guys in total. And resources. Are we on top of... I think we're on top of steel now. Is that right? That's better. Rubber. Rubber seems to be the only real issue. We can probably manage that. And manpower's a little low. That's fine. Philippines used to be a Spanish colony. Ah, okay. I didn't know that either. Hey, Halloween, how's it going? And that was a Spanish-American war. Right, okay. I thought that just happened over in Cuba. I didn't realize the Philippines was part of that at all. Marco Polo Bridge incident. Okay, so it's all kicking off over there. This is where the Americans started to get a little bit anxious towards what the Japanese were doing and their goals in the Pacific. Okay, so we're coming up. We've got 2 lots in there. Let me... Oh, hang on. Are these all... Make sure this is all set to infantry divisions. Yeah, I thought so. It'd be a mix of all sorts in there. Improved machine tools. 37 still. I don't need that. I could do this so we can start digging more stuff out of the ground. Try and wait until we get some research bonuses for some of these other things. That's going okay. Shall we start down the tank line? I think we should start down the tank line. And I need to remember to scroll down some of these pages as well. It just too conveniently looks like that's the entire page, doesn't it? And I know that there are things down there, but I have played through games all the way up to 45 thinking, where's the marine bonuses on this? And, I need a big button on here that says look down or an arrow. Okay, let's get some tanks going. We'll go train up towards medium tanks.
Listen up.
These guys are all coming on nicely.
Orders.
2 more divisions, and then they will be done, and we'll train them up. We should probably get some more aircraft going as well. So what I'll do... Oh, we're going to do this... Where are we going to do this? Doesn't really matter. I shall see what we can build here. Oh, hang on a sec. Hang on. I forgot to assign some to building the flying fortress, didn't I? Which will get those worked over. I don't have any military factories to spare just yet, but we will at some point. So what can we create? We've got plenty of planes. As long as it's just something that's there in training. Oh, I need to get close air support on the build as well. I could recall the fighters from the Philippines and put the heavy fighters in instead. We'll sort that out. We will have... We'll just put 100 of these in for now. And train them up. So they're ready when the new aircraft come in. And we shall create... I'll have to try and remember where the hell all these are. It might be better if I actually create them where I want them. Put the heavy fighters in here too. They'll be a little while coming in, but we'll set that to 100. And they'll just deploy there as they're ready. I won't set them on training because it'll forget. Actually, we have enough fuel. No, I'll leave it. I'll leave it. So we've got a big naval base in the Philippines, or at least we should. We should have a big naval base. Pause again. I've got loads of stuff kicking off. This should be a level 10. I think it is. Decisions available. Something new just happened. Oh, actually, we've got quite nice support in the Senate and the House looking at that. Although we will lose a few. Apart from developing aluminium, what does that actually give us? Adds 12 aluminium in New York. I think we're okay. It's rubber that would be more useful. But we shall see about that in due course. Oh, that's this guy again, isn't it? Right, so the Filipino army is ready for now. 3 dockyards. If those are really free, what about... Did I see that my navies could be upgraded? Those submarines. Do we have... Right, we have a load of mine subs here, so let's pull all those off. Excellent. And a new task force. In fact, highlight those. A new theatre. We'll just call these mine subs. Change the symbol on that to one of those, and we'll put them as yellow so that we can see. And I might actually put them back in. If I put them back in there now, under there, we can actually see that they've got... See, he was a submarine commander, wasn't he? Wasn't he? Yes. Ah, but I don't necessarily want him... Okay. No, I'll put them in a new theatre. We will call them mine subs after all. It's just a nice, easy way of getting the commanders where I want them. Is that going to do it? Yep. So in there, we'll change... Actually, we're going to unassign him. Put him in there, because he's got the mine lane thing. Was it that guy? I think it was that guy, wasn't it? Yep. Put him in there. Do we have the points to do this? Mine layer. And concealment. Nice. We're going to have sneaky mine layers. Yeah, proper submarine. He wants a seawolf thing. What does that do, actually? Experience gained while modern... Oh, well, if we put someone in that doesn't have it, there's a good chance that they will get it. And I don't think I had a seawolf. Can I change his symbol? I can get that off the screen a sec. Hang on. Why isn't it letting me... Where do I... Ah, there it is. So... do that and put that as yellow so we can see that nice and easily. Do we have... I don't think we have anyone with the Seawolf trait, do we? Which isn't a big problem because they will pick these things up. He's a blue water expert. That's useful. Okay. Put Fletcher in. Positioning. Spotting speed. Ironside. I don't think he wants that. I guess you're going to get it then. Maybe I should have... Oh, it doesn't matter. Let's change that to a torpedo. That'll do. Right, so let's have a look at this fleet here. That's all done. That's all looking good. They'll all be rubbish, but the early subs. The mine subs, just so we've got them somewhere different. Just put them somewhere else. Actually, I could sail them out. Can they actually sail out there? I don't know if they've got the range. They probably do. Let's go on. Yeah, no problem. If I mine all these waters defensively, it'll just help hugely later on with naval superiority. I didn't know submarines were used for mine laying, actually. I guess there's no reason why they couldn't be. They were modified for it. And it would kind of make sense if you want to mine some waters, enemy waters, where you don't want to get seen. But I didn't know they were used for that job. I love learning stuff through games. Best way. Have fun while you learn. Trying to get my kids to learn things through games, but they're not quite so keen on it. Shall we try and upgrade all these? I don't know if it's really worth it. I can to the early Farragut class. This will keep... It'll make me destroyers better. Hold that down. And do that. So I've got 104. 12 days. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. 12 days isn't too bad for a refit. There's obviously not much going on there, but... You learned how a nuclear reactor works playing Scram on an Atari. That must have been an in-depth Atari game. Oh, naval bombers can lay down mines? Yeah. I don't think I've ever used them in-game for that, but that's another possibility. So we've got the better torpedoes. We haven't got these models, or we haven't got the bonuses, the research bonuses for these yet. I will research them early once we get the bonuses unlocked. Did we get the naval doctrine one? Nope, not yet. What about air doctrine? Haven't really researched that one. Air support. Ground support. I don't know if I'm going down the right one there, but anyway, it's going to be whatever it will be. Let's get a little bit of research done over here. It's nice having 6 research slots. That does speed things up considerably. And yet, I feel like we're not going to be ready for the war when it comes. Games that filled a whole cassette. Do you know, it used to amaze me how much stuff they could get onto a cassette or a floppy disk. So I played an RPG called Blood Witch, which is one of my favourite RPGs at the time. 2-player split screen, good old dungeon crawl, proper dungeon crawl, party of 4, like Eye the Beholder style. I think that game was unique in offering co-op play like that. But the whole thing came on, well, one cassette, I think, as a Spectrum, and one disc on the Amiga, and yet it loaded up massive dungeons. It blows my mind how they managed to do that. When you look at games like today, like Call of Duty on the Xbox, which is 220 gigabytes or something. Just insane. I guess it would be more historical if we're not ready when the war comes, so okay. That makes me feel a bit better that we're not cheesing it by trying to prepare too much for the war with our background knowledge. Do I want to go with that? I think so. I quite like field hospitals. Not so much for the casualties that they save, but for the experience that they save. That is quite nice. What have we got here? We've got a load of mine subs. Put them in there. So we'll train these up as massive groups, but then obviously we shall deploy them into other roles. What is that? Okay, that's an interesting looking attack group. Put that in there. And my first light cruiser. We'll put that in there. That American Theatre 1. We will be forming our big battle fleets once we get... I think... Is there anything left to build here? They're destroyers. Oh, it's still building stacks of these destroyers. Okay, we're going to have loads of those then. And they're on repairing bit by bit. Let's go. There must have been the coders must have been a lot more efficient in those days to get the games onto such little medium like discs and cassettes. Senators from New Mexico. Okay, I thought it said Mexico. I thought, why are Mexican senators approaching the government? It's from New Mexico. So they want us to build a plant of... What do they want? New munitions plant. They make a lot of good points, yeah. And as we want munitions plants, I am happy to put one into New Mexico. Which I have to guess where it is. It is here. Oh, there's only one slot. Well, I suppose we'll need to up the infrastructure. Also, we put that right to the top of the list, because we want to make sure that gets finished before the time runs out. Yeah, my knowledge of the United States of America is largely fueled by what I've read and learned and played in games about the American Civil War. So generally, my knowledge of this side of America, the west side, is a lot shakier than the east side, where most of the Civil War action went on. The only Civil War action I know happened in New Mexico. Where are we? Here. There was a Confederate general called Sibley, I think. Well, maybe he wasn't general at the time. He led an expedition thinking he would get to the gold fields of California, which was Union-controlled. This was early on in the war, and control all its riches and wealth for the South. And he got as far as heading through New Mexico. I think there was a battle at Glorieta Pass, if I remember. This is going back some time that I've read this. And they were defeated, and then they had no water, and they had to run off through thorn bushes and all sorts of crap. And they, that was the end of the South's quest to control Californian goldfields. There you go, folks. Learning with Mark, American history.